last episode, we spent a week relaxing on a tropical island, spending a lot of time underwater and climbing mountains while we wait for our car to arrive.
On the way back from Otoro, we passed this ship in the harbour, which happens to be carrying our car. Unfortunately, as it was sitting there, it meant it wasn't unloaded. This is out the front of the hostel we were staying at, and this site has been teasing us for the last 2 days.
We woke up this morning and seen that the boat was gone, so we're going to the shipping office and hopefully picking up the car.
So we've just been to the shipping agent who said that the ship was unloaded last night. He made a pretty strong point to make sure that we got the car out and left the container there. I don't know what he thought we were going to do with it. So we're just walking down to the port now. And hopefully everything went well and we can get back on the road.
I think we're in the wrong place.
This is where they said to come to get our car.
Where is our car?
It's gone.
We eventually found a guy who could help us look for our container. He took us into the port, dressed in our best standard safety wear, i.e. wearing shorts and thongs. It was pretty clear straight away though that there's not much order here, as it took a good half an hour or so to find the container after we searched high and low. We found our container. It is right at the back behind about 9 other containers. So the guy who's been helping us has just asked us to come back at 2 o'clock after they have lunch and then we can get it out.
When we came back at 2, it appears that the message to get the container out wasn't passed on and it was still buried, with the response, maybe you should come back tomorrow. After some gentle pressure was applied, we were happy to see this site through the mayhem.
Have our car back finally. It was a pretty long day pushing the guys down at the port along to get the container out, but we have it, so we have our house back and we can finally get back on the road again. A guy that we met out at Otoro last week, him and his wife have a guest house and hostel here in Dili, and they were really kind to offer us their driveway so that we can camp here and get our car organised again so we can get back on the road. So Mark's up on the roof fixing the dive box back up there, and he put the solar panel and surfboards.
These are our new fly screens which I put up this morning. We got these made by a company in the Gold Coast.
Yeah, just near the Goldie.
Just near the Goldie. Top Gear. When we built the car, we kind of had the attitude that we wanted to do everything ourselves to kind of keep costs down. Jolie kind of had this one job and to make the back fly screens and didn't do a very good job. So anyway, we put off buying some for a while. Unfortunately, we should have just bit the bullet and got them earlier, because even in Australia with the flies, it would have been great to not get invaded every time we open the rear doors. But more importantly, coming in the wet season in Indonesia, we needed something robust. So we got these made up and sent in the container over with the car, and I popped them on this morning. Took about 20 minutes, nice and simple. So far they look pretty good, so looking forward to being able to use the back doors and let the air flow in and not get invaded by mosquitoes. So we'll let you know how they go.
They seem a bit more durable than my attempt.
A bit more durable would be a bit understatement. Yeah.
So now that we have our car back with a fridge, we thought we'd come down to the local fruit market and stock up before we head out of town.
The first stop out of Dili was Mount Ramelau, which is 85 kilometres to the south. This doesn't sound like far, the roads are in terrible shape, so the drive took us about 2.5 hours. We've heard of it taking double that, though, in more stock vehicles. The reasonably dramatic climb out of Dili not only offers some pretty special views, it also gives a welcome relief to the very humid coastal weather. Mount Ramelau is Timor-Leste's highest peak at 2,986 metres. Having our car was a bonus, as we could take the steep and loose rock-fall drive track up to the campground, as opposed to staying in the village at the normal start of the hike, Huttabulko. From the summit, on a clear day, the views stretch from the north to the south coast.
We're at the top of Ramalau. The walk was about 5 kilometres, and from where we were camping it was only about 700 metres elevation, so it was pretty steep. It's pretty covered up here, it's about 5 degrees, though the wind feels like it's about 0. There's a pretty beautiful sunrise though, we picked the perfect morning to come up here.
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before. When I was struck, you showed it open.
This is the camping area at the gateway to Ramalau. We arrived in the dark last night and were greeted by the man who lives here with his puppies. They seemed pretty happy for some attention after our hike, which was a bit of a contrast to the treatment that they gave us the night before. After a nice few days retreating in the cooler weather in the mountains, we make our way back down and keep exploring Timor-Leste. Next episode, we do a lap of the south coast, pick a friend up and head to the most eastern point of Timor. Thanks for watching and don't forget to press subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. See you next time.